I'm going to explain you about the basics of every programming languages like Python, JavaScript, C++ and many other. You might have seen these statements a lot, and if you're wondering why these are so popular, let me tell you, this is how we make our program speak. And when you have a very complex program, you can use it to see the answers or output of your program to check whether the output are correct or not. Variables are something that temporarily stores and represent a value. You can give it a name, assign a value, use it, update its value, use it again, or delete it. If-else statements are one of the most interesting part of programming. It simply tells a program what to do if certain condition holds true and what if it's false. Here is an example from real life. If it is cloudy, take umbrella. Else if it's cold, take warm clothes. Else as your wish. You can join multiple if-else statements, and here are some more examples. As you can see how relatable it is to real world. Now let's see what functions are. Functions are a block of codes which runs only when you call them. Let's take the example of these three functions. Function A takes two numbers and returns its sum. These inputs are known as function arguments. Function B takes a single input, multiplies it by 5 and returns it. And function C doesn't take any input. It just says hello world. So you can create any kind of functions. Some may take input, some may not. Now let's try calling function A, and we will pass 3 and 6 as an input. As expected, it's sum of the two number and the result is 9. And that's how we call a function and pass the arguments. Let's try calling function B now by passing 3 as an input. And finally, function C, which doesn't take any input at all. The best part of function is that you can use it as many times as you want. While loops are something that execute a block of code repeatedly based on a certain condition. Let's learn it with examples. While charge is less than 100, keep charging. It simply means that we are telling our program to keep charging until and unless the charge is either 100 or above. The way it works is super simple. First, it will check whether this statement is true or false. If it is true, it will execute the code. Else, it won't. Here are some more examples. While destination not reached, keep moving. Here we are telling the program to keep moving until and unless we don't reach the destination. Let's say we have a car game where the car keeps moving, but we want to stop the car when the fuel is 0. So here, our while loop will look like this. While fuel is greater than 0, keep moving. We can also add additional statements to break out of this loop. If the engine condition is not good, brake. So if this condition holds true, the car will stop. For loops are similar and used mostly with array or list. First, let me tell you what array is. Array is a data structure that stores a list of data, and you can easily access any element using its index number. Index number is a position of an element in an array. Let's say we have an array named myR. Now if you want to get access to the first element of the array, you can do it like this. For a third element, something like this, and so on. Now let's get back to for loop. Imagine we have an array of names of 50,000 people and we want to print all the names. Now we can use a print statement for each of these names one by one, but that is 50,000 line of codes. So what we can do is use a for loop which will iterate over all the elements one by one and perform operation that we want to do. Firstly, it will select the first element and let you do what you want to do. Here we are printing the name. Once it is done, it will move on to the second element and perform the same thing, and then third element, and so on. So this way, we just need to write a few lines of codes to iterate over any number of elements and do the cool stuffs. Now this is our final section, and it's about classes and objects. Objects are created using classes, and classes are like blueprint or description of an object. The best part about the object-oriented programming is that you can think about any real-world object and create it programmatically. Let's create a class to create human objects. Now we can add attributes and methods. Let me tell you what attributes are first. Attributes are features like name, age and occupation. Methods are like the actions that it can perform. Technically, it's a function. So I'm going to add these three attributes and a method called sayHello. Now let's use this class to create two objects. You can create any number of objects. As you can see, the two objects have their own identity like a real human. Also, it can say hello if you call that function. So that's all for now. If you have any suggestion, comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel as well if you haven't already and hit that bell icon so that you won't be missing any videos. Thanks for watching.